ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै सदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। विराग विद्या निज भक्ति योगम शिक्षाप्रथम सपुरुषम पुराण श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपा बुद्धि समम प्रपद्ये। वागीश यस्य वदने लक्ष्मीर्यस्य वक्षसि यस्य हृदये संवित् तं नृसिंहं भजे। न नाम सदृशं ज्ञानं न नाम सदृशं व्रतं न नाम सदृशं ध्यानं न नाम सदृशं फलम् न नाम सदृशं त्यागो न नाम सदृशः शमः न नाम सदृशं पुण्यं न नाम सदृशं गतिः। नाम एवं परमं शान्ति नाम एवं परमं स्थिति नाम एवं परमा भक्ति नाम एवं परममति नाम एवं परमा प्रीति नाम एवं परमा स्मृति नाम एव कारणम जंतुर्नाम प्रभु च नाम एवं परमाराध्यो नाम एवं परमो गुरु। जयतां सुतपंगु मम मंदमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वदाम्भुजो श्रीराधा मदनमोहिनी। सदा गायन गायं मधुरतर राधा प्रिय यश सदा चंद्रनंद नवरसद राधा रतिकथः सदा स्थायं स्थायं नवनिभृत राधा रतिवने सदा ध्यायं ध्यायं विवश्य हृदि राधे पदे सुधा सदा ध्यायं ध्यायं विवश्य हृदि राधा पदे सुधा। राधा चिंतयेशिनं यस्य कान्तिलोकिता श्रीकृष्ण चरणं वन्दे राधा विग्रहम्। वृन्दाय तुलसी देवी प्रियाय केशवस्य कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवते नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, before I start the shloka class by Anuradha Didi, very senior Didi. Anuradha, are you ready? Yes. Can you unmute Anuradha?
Krishna at
Hare Krishna.
the
You are the senior most amongst all of us. So we all like to hear some verses from you. Everyone is very excited to see you and hear from you. Yes.
Grandasya Gyanam Gyanshalakeya Chakshuromilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurude Namaha Ashwarasya Samagyasya Virasya Yashasya Shri Gyan Viragya Saif Bhagab Iti Gana Ishwar Padma Krishna Satyananda Vigraha Anare Are Govinda Sarakana Kanam Aham eva samevage nanyariyat sat asat param pascharaham etaksha yovashita sasmiyam ऋतेवतन्य प्रतीयेता न पृच्छात्मनि तद्विद्यारत्नो मायं यतो भासेतात् महा एतामहान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु क्षवशेषु प्रविष्टानि प्रविष्टानि तथा ते संस्ते स्वम् एतावदेवा जिज्ञासं तस्मात् जिज्ञासनात्मनः अन्वायव्यतिरेकभ्यं यत् सत् सर्वत्र सर्वदा.
That's all? I thought you're going to speak the whole Bhagavatam. Okay, very nice. So everyone just clap for her. Hare Krishna. Yay.
Raj,
Huh?
I miss you, Maharaj.
Thank you so much. We all miss you so much. Hare Krishna. Very nice. So then another next project, learning more verses. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You and Anupam, both sisters, learning this Hare Krishna Mahamantra verse. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. And then let me know when you're ready. Then we're going to hear from you.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Maharaj.
Thanks to parents of Anuradha teaching so much the shlokas. Very nice. Okay. Shri Chaitanya Chaitamrit. अज्ञान तमेर नाम कहे कही तब धर्म अर्थ काम वांछा ऐ सब. Yesterday we heard in detail of the word agyan. Agyan means agyan means avidya. Agyan means ignorance, avidya or darkness. So agyan timiran dasya jnanan jan shalakaya. Shri Gurudev, he dissipated that darkness. Which darkness? The darkness of agyan, the darkness of avidya. Prema bhakti jahar hoite avidya vinashaja. Vede gaye jahar charito. First, prema bhakti will come in the heart, and then agyan will. Shri Gurudev, the entire Guru Parampara is helping us, supporting us, and two things goes parallel. Prema bhakti janvate, sadhan, and then agyan, destroying that ignorance. Both parallel. What is that agyan? We heard yesterday the four kind of anarthas. Surubhram, Asatrishna, Hide Durbalyam, and Aprad. Four of them have four subdivisions. Swatatve, Paratatve, cha Sadhan, Sattva, Tattva, Virodhi, Vishya, Seva is four. Asatrishna, four. Hide Durbalyam, four. And Anarthas, four. Apradas, four. So 4 into 4. How much? Okay. These are headings and subheadings, but there are so much details, and this is called agyan. Because of this agyan and ignorance, we are lacking in attaining that prema bhakti. So this is only one word which is called tamaha in Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, When Brahmaji started creation, the very first thing he created is avidya. And avidya is composed of five elements: tama, moha, mahamoha, tamsri, and the tamsri. And the first is tama. Tama means agyan, means darkness. And in that there are 16 uh, elements. That's only one tama, which means andhakar, darkness. Then the second is moha. Moha means uh, not enough intelligence to consider which is to be done and which is not to be done, which activities to be done and which is not to be done. Oh, everything is same. Huh? Everything is same. There is no difference. When a person thinks there is no difference, everything is same. Living animal life or living human life or living human life like animal life, no difference. It's just same. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. This is called moha. When there is no any consideration of distinguishing between what we supposed to do, what we not supposed to do. What are things favorable to bhakti, anukulyasya sankalpam, and those which are unfavorable to bhakti, pratikulyasya vivarjana. So, not enough intelligence to consider this. That's called moha. And this is another form of avidya. There's another form of avidya. Anukulisya sankalpa, accepting those things which are favorable to bhakti. Sins, offenses, aparadh, these are of course a part of uh, those things which are unfavorable to bhakti. But specifically here, the process of karma, the process of jnana is also unfavorable to bhakti. Therefore, jnana karmadhi anavritam. Accepting that bhakti which is flowing like a complete stream of oil which is poured from one bottle to other bottle, unbroken stream. That bhakti which is apratihata, jayatma suprasiddhiti. There is no any break and it just go in one stream. And that bhakti is favorable when it is not covered by the process of karma and the process of jnana. That bhakti which is not even having any hetu, means any cause, that I am performing bhakti because there is some cause. And if there is a cause to perform that bhakti, then it is called hetuki bhakti. And when it is hetuki bhakti, that means this is unfavorable to the pure bhakti. So anukulasya sankalpam, accepting those which are favorable to bhakti. When we are speaking this, to be more specific, that bhakti which is one pointed to attain that one pointed sadhya, one pointed goal. And that one pointed goal is only Radha Dasya. So even the bhakti, now this is totally according to Ras Vichar, even bhakti towards or attachment towards incarnations or the Vilas Vigraha of Shri Krishna Narayan has to be kept aside. so that this creeper just goes straight without any deviation here and there. Anukule sasankalpam, favorable to bhakti, not covered by karma and jnana, of course, not covered by any papa, sinful activities, not covered by any offenses, and of course not covered by any karma and jnana, and of course not covered by any worship to demigods, plus to get merged in that impersonal Brahm, plus that bhakti should not be getting any deviation of attachment to even Lord Narayan. As Sri Raghunath Das Goswami says, Api tattva Lakshmipati ratim iti vayom naine. Even to give up the attachment to the Lakshmipati Narayan. Lakshmipati Narayan. Even giving up that, which is so hard and difficult to give up. If one sees Lord Narayan, finish. Finish means you get so much attracted, so much attraction. So, all the way, uh, that bhakti which is only focused on Shri Golok, and even in that, Gopi Bharatu Pad Kamalayo, Das Anudas, that Krishna who is submissive to the gopis, to the gopi means Radharani, and to attain the lotus feet of Shri Radharani, Radha Dasyam, that bhakti. So which sadhan, which practice to follow, or which is not to follow, this is called moha. That bhakti which has some hetu, some cause, is also unfavorable to bhakti. So which bhakti is the pure bhakti? A hetu ki apratihita. It should be unbroken stream, and it should be a hetuki without any cause. And as we have heard earlier, remember who has performed a hetuki bhakti? The bhakti without cause, only Braj Gopis. Brajvasis, and amongst all these Brajvasis, only Braj Gopi Radharani has a hetuki bhakti. Where uh, in that bhakti, which is in Madhurya Ras, which is also present in Dwarika, the queens of Dwarika, and even a Kubja of Mathura. But there is some hetu, there is some cause to love Krishna, to serve Krishna. So, hetu ki apratihita, yatma suprasiddhi. That hetu ki bhakti only applies to Radharani. So, this, if one is not familiar with this, or can't distinguish in this, then this is another form of, a very subtle form of avidya, which is termed as moha. And Srila Gurudev, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah, our most worshipable Srila Gurudev, this is what he spreaded, and he inspired everyone to attain this bhakti and not less than this bhakti. That bhakti which is only focused to attain the dust of the lotus feet of Radharani, where Uddhav, Brahma, Shiva, even Krishna, they are longing for that. Not less than that, Srila Gurudev used to say. So he is dissipating that darkness, destroying all other layers which are deviating or hindrance to attain this topmost goal, as following the footsteps of Shri Rupa Raghunath. Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sakhai Tumam, Namastu Namastu Nityam, Dasyastumam, Rasastu Satyam. Even that bhakti which can give the position of a gopi And a dear Sakhi of Radharani, even that is not the goal, that is not the sadhya. Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, he paid obeisances to that position of being a Sakhi of Radharani. Whereas what he wants, he said, I only want dasyastimam rasastu rasastu satyam. I only want to become the maid servant of Radharani. This is called uh, dissipating the darkness of avidya. Now, this is moha. Then maha moha. First was tama, second was moha, third is maha moha. Very interesting. When Brahmaji is doing creation, he created avidya and then he also created vidya together. Yes. The four vidyas are Anvikshani, Trehi, Varta, and Dandaniti. So Vidya is of four categories, whereas Avidya is five. Vidya is four and Avidya is five. So we heard Kama, we heard Moha, and then there is Mahamoha. What is Mahamoha? Just like we say Mahaprasad, why don't we say just Prasad? Anything offered to Krishna is Prasad. Oh, but this is Mahaprasad. Mahaprasade Govinde. Namo Brahmanidash. That's the best song. Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmanidash. So, what is Mahaprasad? When after passing on from Krishna to Radharani and to all the Sakhis, then all the Manjaris, then it's getting Maha, Maha, Maha. And instead of saying again and again Maha, 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 this word called Mahaprasad. Just like Bhagavatam, first canto. Atma Ramnischa Munyo Nirganti api ukrame Kurventu etu ki bhaktim Itham bhuto gunohari. All those who are Atma Ram, plural word, plural tense, those who considered their body as Atma Ram, those who considered their family as Atma, or the body as Atma, or the society as Atma, or their possession as Atma, or their country as Atma. All these different people who considered this Atma, 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 Atma. So the word is Atma Ramnishya Munyo, plural tense. Every person who considered whatever they want to consider as Atma is inclusive in this word. Similarly, Mahaprasad. uh, when it goes from Krishna to Radhaji and then Lalita, Vishaka, in this song, Bhakti Thakur wrote, Yashomati Agyapai Dhanishthaya Nito Shri Krishna Prasada Radha Punjara Hito Bhajabha Tavasana Shri Gaura Hari Shri Gaura Hari Sohi Gosha Vihari Nanda Yashomati Sita Hari Bhajava Katava Sala Shri Gaura Hari. Yashamati Agya Pai Dhanishthani. When Krishna he took his bhoga, then Yashomati means Yashoda Maya ordered Dhanishta Sati. Hey Dhanishta, bring this prasad, bring this. And Dhanishta she brings and she gives to Radharani. And Mane Mane Sukha Radharani by honoring this Krishna Prasad, she is feeling so much happy in this. And then from Radharani it goes to the Sakhis. From the Sakhis it goes to the Manjaris. And from the Manjaris it goes to our Gurudev. And finally it comes to us. So, not in context of what we are uh, discussing, but just to explain the word. What is the word Mahaprasad means? Similarly, Mahamoha. What is Mahamoha? Mahamoha means Bhog Spriha, the inclination of enjoying everything. Senses, mind, gross, subtle, all this. Enjoying this world or to get enjoyment in Swargaloka. This is all Mahamoha, all kind of enjoyments. Then comes faith. If there is any obstacle in those enjoyments, then krodha, anger. And when anger comes, then what? Dhayatu vishya pumsam sangas teshu sangajayate sanga sanjayate kama kama krodha upajayate. Krodha bhavati sammoha sammoha buddhi viprabham buddhi viprabham sorry buddhi nasha pranashati. The whole sequence. Dhayanta vishyam pumsam. Meditating on the object of sense gratification. That's Bhagavad Gita. Krishna said, Dhayanta vishyam pumsam sangas teshu sangajayate. Sangas sanjayate kama kama krodha bhujayate. Constantly meditating on sense gratification. And when there is some hindrance in those enjoyments, then krodha, anger. When anger, then smriti, forgetfulness. When forgetfulness, then mind, the brain doesn't work. And then buddhi nasha pranashati. Everything is destroyed. So I start with meditating on sense enjoyment. So krodha. This is called tamsa. Then last one, andhatamsa. My enjoyments, my all kind of enjoyments uh, will destroy it. And because of that, I'm I'm always very restless and I'm always very uh, fearful. No, not fearful. Anxious for that. Always anxious for that. What will happen if this will go? What will happen if that will go? What will happen if this? So this is called absorption. Absorption in what? Sense objects. And that is called bhayam dyutya vineshita. The fear arises of because of dyutya vineshita, second absorption. Sad bhayam dyutya vineshita syad patasya viparjya smriti. Viparjya smriti, the smriti, the remembrance, the absorption get totally opposite, reverse. Because of bhayam, fear. And what is the cause of fear? Dyutya vineshita, the second absorption. Second means, is there any first absorption? Yes. The first absorption is the absorption in Krishna. And other than that, all other absorptions are called second absorption. And all fear arise because of second absorption. And that happens because of Maya. Because of Maya. Second absorption. So bhayam dyutya vineshita. This is these five are called avidya. Avidya means another word called agyan, ignorance. So Chaitanya Chaitamrit Kaviraj Goswami explains Agyan Tamer Naam Kahi Kaitav Dharm Arth Kam Vancha Adi Ei Sab. Kaitav means deceitful nature, cheating propensity. And what are these? Dharma, Artha, Kam, and Moksha. The commentary to this is, what is the meaning of Dharma? There are many meanings of Dharma. Dharma to Sakshat Bhagvat Unetam. One meaning of Dharma is, one meaning of Dharma is that which is established by Bhagwan himself. ये वे भागवत प्रोक्ता उपाय ही आत्मलभ्य आज्ञा पुंसा विदिशा विधि भागवतम हिता 11th canto Bhagavatam. The orders of Shri Krishna, how to, or the advices of Krishna, how to attain him, is called Bhagavad Dharma. That's the Dharma. So, Dharma to Sakshat Bhagavad Anupam. That which is established by Bhagwan himself. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. Which is established by Bhagwan himself. That is called the true Dharma. So there is Nitya Dharma and there is Naimittik Dharma. Eternal Dharma and there is temporary Dharma. The eternal Dharma is what? Established by Bhagwan himself. Bhagavatam says, Save Pumsa Paro Dharmo Yatha Bhakti Adhokshate. Save Pumsa. Pumsa means of everyone. Male, female, and not only male, female, even trees, bird, animal, aquatic, everyone, bugs, insects, bacteria. Save Pumsa Paro Dharma. The only one Dharma of everyone living being is Yatha Bhakti Adhokshate. Only the bhakti, the devotion. And this is what Krishna comes to establish. Yada yada hi dharmasya. That dharma which only favorable to bhakti. That is Uttama Bhakti. This is a reason why he comes to establish. I mean, this is what he established. Eternal dharma. And this is dharma of the jivas. Krishna Sarup hai, Jiva Sarup hai, Krishner Nityadas. That's the dharma of jiva. That's the dharma. But there is another dharma which is called Varnashram dharma, which is Naimittik dharma. And if we don't focus on the eternal dharma, the Nitya dharma, then we will focus on Naimittik dharma, the temporary dharma. And if we focus on temporary dharma, then Nitya dharma is getting avoided. So, the faith, the Shraddha, everyone has some Shraddha and faith. But that Shraddha goes to two different streams. One goes to follow eternal dharma, other goes to follow Naimittik dharma, the temporary dharma. And most people around the world, they follow Naimittik dharma. They have no understanding, they have no idea, they have no interest to follow Nitya Dharma. Whereas Krishna comes to establish eternal Dharma. He didn't came to establish Naimatik Dharma. He's saying to give up Naimatik Dharma. You see, in Bhagavad Gita, everyone knows this verse. यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मनं सृजाम्यहम्. I come to establish dharma. This is his. This is what he's saying. But in the last he's saying sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Hey Baba, what do you want to say? It's so quite confusing to me. You're saying give up all dharma and surrender to me. But Prabhu, earlier you said you descend to establish dharma, and now you're saying to give up dharma. No? It's so confusing. Tell us one thing. Shall we follow your dharma or shall we give up dharma? Just tell one. So without sadhu sangha, we can't understand the meaning of this two dharma. And we assume they both are same. Just like Shraddha. There are two definitions of Shraddha. One definition of Shraddha is Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Tohe Kare Surdrir Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritya Hai. What is the meaning of Shraddha? The firm conviction that just by performing Krishna Bhakti, I have performed all other rituals. There is no need to perform any other ritual or any other. Just by performing Krishna Bhakti, observing these, I have accomplished everything else. That firm conviction, if someone have or developed, is called Shraddha, faith. Now, judge yourselves. Do we have this firm conviction? Maybe some of you. Maybe some of us, we don't. That firm conviction, not just Shraddha, faith, that is very tender. That's the beginning point. Very beginning point. Oh, I came to attend one Harikatha. Oh, I attended seminar. Oh, I attended one Harikatha on Zoom. My friend told me that there is someone in India. His name is Siddhanti Maharaj, giving Chaitanya Chaitamrit on Zoom. Very interesting, must hear. But one day I saw, oh, I attended the seminar with so much faith. But one day I saw he was chastising someone. He was chastising someone. That means he still have anger. He's a devotee. There should not be any anger. I have no faith. My faith destroyed just by seeing one activity. What is this Shraddha? This faith is soft, tender. This faith has no sadhu sangha included in that. This faith, this Shraddha is without sadhu sangha. And that's why seeing anything, one cannot digest. Sadhu sangha is giving a very good digestion power. Or in other words, sadhu sangha gives us a maturity level to understand, to perceive things as it is. As it is. But without sadhu sangha, that Shraddha which everyone has in the beginning, which is very soft and tender, there is no sadhu sangha present. And that's why newcomers, they are very sensitive. Very sensitive. Just they see one thing, but over. It's like a plant. We just got from nursery one small plant. We put implanted in our buried in our backyard, and then one day a storm came. Not big storm, little or heavy rain. Plant finished. But when the same plant grow and become like tree, big hurricane, big storm, the tree is still there. Or in a very worst situation, the tree get uprooted. Worst situation. So that's called Komal Shraddha. Ya Bhavet Komal Shraddha Sa Kanishta. Those who are Komal Shraddha, soft Shraddha is called Kanishta Adhikari. Very Kanishta. But when this Shraddha get mixed with a flavor of Sadhu Sangha, get more condensed. And person start getting more and more mature of understanding what is right, what is wrong. And when it further grows to more maturity, then what? One one don't focus on someone's nature to conclude that this person is a devotee or not devotee. Nature has nothing to do with devotion. Uh, yeah, the bhakti means devotional practice. Nature is different. Bhakti is different. Shri Gurudev once in Mathura Math, he was explaining this point. Nature has nothing to do with bhakti. If someone nature is not good, that doesn't mean he is not a devotee. So Gurudev gave example. Someone is very angry, but that doesn't mean he is not devotee. He's chanting nicely. He's a short-tempered person. That's fine. That is his nature. But what about his dedication? What about his practices? That's perfect. He's not wasting a single minute. But that short temper or immediately get irritated, that's a nature. And nature has nothing to do with the bhakti. And that's why I ended up my class yesterday with this verse from Shri Rup Goswami Padyavali. Vyad Sachran Dhruvasya Chavayo Vidya Gajendrasya. All the kids try to learn this verse. Very important. Vyad Sachran Dhruvasya Chavayo Vidya Gajendrasya. Kubjayo Kimunam Rup Adhikam Kim Tam Sudamna Dhanam. Vamsh Kim Vidurasya Yadupati Ugrasya Kim Porashaha. Bhakti Tushyati Bhagwan Nacha Gunair Madhav. Bhakti Tushyati Bhagwan. Hari Toshna. Only Bhakti can satisfy Madhav. Qualities can't. So, Shri Rup Goswami gave example. If we say that only those who are senior citizens, because they have good maturity level and understanding, then if they practice bhakti, then very easily they can get Krishna. Those who are kids, small ones, 5 years, 6 years, they can't because immature. They don't know anything worldly. That's not true. If it is the case, then what was the age of Dhruv Maharaj? 5-year young boy. And with folded hands, just like we heard before our class. Imagine Dhruv Maharaj when he's praying to Narayan, was almost similar like this. What we just heard. Aham eva sami vangre. Dhruv Maharaj is also like this. Bhakti mai parvartam tvai me prasango bhuyat atmatma amla shayanam, praying to Bhagwan. Praying to Bhagwan for Sadhu Sangha, right in front of Bhagwan. Is it not insult to Bhagwan? Huh? Is it not insult? Bhagwan, Narayan is right, standing right in front of Dhruv Maharaj. And instead of asking the proximity with Bhagwan or Bhagwan, what Dhruv Maharaj is asking? Is asking Sadhu Sangha. Isn't it insult? Or Bhagwan felt bad about it? Hey, I'm here. And you asking association of devotees? You neglecting me? No. Bhagwan gets pleased to hear this. That is what is more appealing to him. Rather than just someone ask, I want to be with you. Bhagwan said, no, I'm not impressed with this. But if anyone just says, Sadhu Sangha, association, then Bhagwan is super happy to hear this. And immediately he blessed that person with Sadhu Sangha. Dhruv Maharaj said this. Gajendra, the elephant, said this. कि एकांतो न यस्य न कंचनार्थो वांछन्ति यावे भगवत प्रपन्ना अति अद्भुत चरित्र सुमंगलम गायन्ति आनंद समुद्र मंथना. Even when he was in danger and in that situation when he was drowning that pond, Gajendra is praying for association when Bhagwan came over the scene. And Gajendra, in that situation, in that calamity, is asking association of devotees. This shows if I'm on airplane and if the pilots say, Mayday, 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 you know the meaning? You don't know. That's the signal. The signal Mayday means we can't help it and plane is just going to crash. That's the final signal. That's the final pilot say. Nothing after that. And the center, the traffic control understands that it's over. Yeah. So imagine if pilot announce engine is on fire, there is no hope, and we already gave this signal. So just think whatever you want to think. Immediately, Krishna gives the association of the devotees. Do we say this? Can we say this? No, yeah, screaming, shouting. Just think for a while if this situation is there. Just think for a while. 1 second. Imagine Gajendra totally in waters. Only trunk is there. And he offered a lotus to Lord. And in that situation, he is asking association of his devotees, the association of devotees of Lord. Ekanto nayasana kanchana. Those devotees who don't ask anything from you. Those who are anand samudra magna. Those who are always immersed in that ocean of bliss by reciting your pastime. This is what Gajendra is saying in that situation. Imagine. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of these verses uh, speaking about association. Okay? Therefore, Vyada Sacharan Dhruvasta Chavayo. Oh, any person who always maintaining very good conduct, only he is qualified to do bhakti. That means you're minimizing the quality of bhakti, that bhakti is independent and can go anywhere and fit in anyone's heart. Vyada Sachya. Is it possible a person with immoral conduct can also become qualified to perform bhakti? Yes. The example is that hunter, Brigari, who used to kill animals half dead, and by the discourse of Naraji, he got totally changed and he became a pure devotee. But prior to that, he was a hunter and used to kill hundreds of animals every day. Okay, he was killing animals, but there was one other dacoit in Treta Yuga who used to kill human beings, and there is no countability how many human beings he have killed in his life. And by the association of Naraji, he became a pure devotee, Valmiki. उलट नाम जगत जग जाना वाल्मीकि भय ब्रह्म समान. And he wrote the complete Ramayana, the pastime of Lord Ram. Oh, with that conduct, killing human beings, and so many human beings, not one or two, hundreds, thousands, and that person can become a pure devotee. Yes, evidence is there. Vyada Sachran Dhruvastachavayo. Therefore, we need maturity level to understand or to comment on someone. It's very easy to comment, very easy. Or just movement of tongue, no? There is no tax. Just say whatever you want. But a mature person was think twice according to different Shastra's quotations and considerations before commenting a single thing on someone. That depends on maturity level. And in immature state, just say anything. It's so easy and quick. Yeah, just say. Then what's the gravity in the words? The gravity is there when there is maturity. So there should be a big maturity level in bhakti. Vyadasacham Dhruvastavayo Vidya Gajendrastaka. What was the knowledge of elephant Gajendra? And he attained Lord. Oh, if someone is very beautiful, then it's sure Krishna to get attracted to that person, male or female, because I'm very beautiful. That's not a consideration at all. Kubjayo Kimunu Ram Up Adhikam. What was the beauty of Kubja in Mathura? Krishna got attracted to see her. It's not the beauty. It's not the Roop. It is the Surup which matters. Rupa means appearance and Sarup means the quality. It's not the appearance which matters. It's the quality which matters, not a Rupa. So Kubja, uh, she fell in love with Krishna and Krishna accepted Kubja even though she was not, she was very ugly. Three bend. And there was one Rishi called Ashtavakra Muni. He was eight bent. His body was bent in eight sides. And when he used to walk, everyone was laughing to see. Imagine if anyone is walking right in front of you with eight bends in his body. There was an assembly where in the palace of Janak Maharaj, the father of Sita Devi, and he invited all scholars there, all big scholars there, all pundits, know all scriptures. And Ashtavakra Muni, his name is Ashtavakra. He's bent, eight bent, and when he's walking, imagine from toe to head, he's bent, and he's walking. It looks so funny. When he entered in that assembly, seeing his walk, all the scholars they are laughing. Ha ha ha! What is this? What kind of person is he? And seeing him, everyone is laughing, and then he laughed more loudly than them. More loudly, ha ha ha. And everyone became, huh, what is this? Why he's laughing? We are laughing with reason, and why he's laughing? Then he said, I came in this assembly of Janak Maharaj thinking everyone is scholar here, and they are pandits, they know Shastras, but I think they all are butchers. Hmm? क्या बोलेंगे? Cobbler, sorry. Cobbler. They all are cobblers. And everyone felt insulted. What you saying? You say, yes. Cobbler means one who always deal with leather. So you only see my external appearance, this body, this skin, this gross body. So you all are cobblers, not mature and intellectual personalities. I don't see anyone like this. You are seeing my external appearance. You are not seeing, you have not even yet seen what I am here for. Hmm. So the beauty doesn't matter, the appearance doesn't matter. Kimtam Sudamnu Dhanam. Oh, what was the wealth of Sudama? So poor. Sudama so poor. No possessions, no gift to give to Krishna. Long story. Vamsh ki Vidurasya. Oh, what was the dynasty of Vidura? Vidur was from Shudra clan, but very dear to Krishna. The battlefield of Mahabharata, Vidur rejected Duryodhan, the side of Duryodhan, the Kauravas. And Krishna told Pandavas, celebrate your victory. The Pandavas said, Krishna, the battle has not even begun yet. Krishna said, he already won because Vidur has left them. If Vidur would have been there in the battlefield, I promise you, Yudhishthir, I was not able to help you in any way because he's very, very dear and near to me. But Vidur was from Shudra caste, was not Brahmin, high class first. That doesn't matter in Bhakti. Vamshi Vidurasya Yadapati Ugrasya Kim Purusha. Ugrasen Maharaj, very old, not so much strength, but he attained Krishna. The old person, no strength, can also, yes, Bhakti Tushtati Bhagwan, Nacha Goler Madhav. Even at the point of death, one can attain Krishna, of course. The example is Dhruv Maharaj. Uh, an example is Khatwang, King Khatwang, the king of the planet Earth. And there was a battle between demons and demigods. Demigods getting defeated, and they seek for help and protection from the king Khatwang from the earth. King Khatwang helped demigods, and because of him, demigods won and they got victory. Demons got defeated, and demigods asked a boon. You can ask a boon from us. And King Khatwang said, huh, can you give me mukti, liberation? Demigod says, sorry sir, we cannot give this. We can't give this. Mukti datati ti mukundaha. Only Bhagwan Mukunda can give mukti. Then Khatwang said, okay, if you all cannot give mukti liberation to me, just can you tell me how long I will survive so that I can offer myself to Bhagwan Mukunda? Because you can't give liberation. So I approached Bhagwan Mukunda for this. And the demigod said, yes, your lifespan is only one murata, means 36 minutes only. This is only your lifespan. Then Khatwang said, all obeisances to you. Please go. And in that one Muhurta, Khatwan, he offered his everything mentally with full heart to Krishna. And he got liberated. He got designated to Vaikuntha. Because Manas Deha Geha Jo Kichu More Arpilu Tua Pade Nanda Kishore. He offered everything in that one Murata, Khatwang. Then what if one can offer throughout one lifetime? So, Bhakti Tushtati Bhagwan, Nacha Guner Madhava. Only Bhakti can satisfy Krishna. Krishna is not dependent on someone's quality, or Bhakti is not dependent on quality. If it is so, then there is a fault in Bhagwan and fault in Bhakti that you are partial. And there is no fault in Bhakti or in Bhagwan because there is no partiality. Because they don't see or don't consider the part, qualities part, but they rather see devotional part. That's the only thing which appeals to them, no matter whoever. And that's what he said, Tave Pumsam Parodharu. Everyone is inclusive in that word, Pumsam. Animal, aquatic, insects, trees, plants, male, female, child, old, anyone, everyone, sorry, is inclusive in this. Tave Pumsam Parodharu. Yatha Bhakti Adhokshati. Ahetuki apratihita yayatma suprasiddhati. So therefore, this platform of sadhu sangha is so essential right from the beginning. Otherwise, one only lie on the level of very soft shraddha. It just goes like this. In a fraction of second, seeing something unusual, unfavorable, shraddha is gone. That's called immature stage. Immature stage. So, how this Shraddha comes? Through Sadhu Sangha. And when it is with Sadhu Sangha, then it's called actual Shraddha. Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Tohe Surdil Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritya Hai. Then this Shraddha will come that by performing devotional practices and surrender myself to Krishna, I have accomplished all other rituals and all other objects. That firm conviction is called Shraddha. So this is one definition of Shraddha. Then there is another definition of Shraddha by Rupa Goswami from Bhakti Rasamrita. And that is Shraddha tav anupaya varjanam bhakti unmukti chit vritti vishesha. A special tendency of the chit vritti. Chit vritti? Huh? The inclination to serve Krishna with a special mood and giving up word. Anyupaya varjanam. The process, the practices of karma, jnana, yoga. Giving up that and only strives to incline towards serving, only and only serving Krishna. That is the first level called Shraddha. That's called Shraddha. This Shraddha is full of maturity or on the process of maturity. And this comes by sadhu sangha. That's why sadhu sangha is such a support right from the beginning to come to this level of prema, because sadhu sangha starts from this level of shraddha and goes even to the stage of prema. Also there is sadhu sangha. I was explaining this point this morning. From where this word sadhu sangha appeared? It cannot be of this material world. Just like Harinam cannot be of this material world. It descended from Shri Golok Vrindavan, from eternal abode of the Lord. Similarly, sadhu sangha also descended from eternal abode of the Lord. And who is doing sadhu sangha there? We are always hearing this word sadhu sangha, and sadhu has to be sat, sat sadhu sangha. And who is sat means bona fide. Aham evasam evagre nanyat sat. Krishna is that sat vastu. Vedyam vastam atra vastu. Krishna is that atra vastu, means the sat vastu, means the bona fide. So, Brajvasis associating with Krishna. And amongst the Brajvasis, Madhure Ras, Radharani. She is associating with Krishna the most. In the form of name, form, qualities, pastime. Radharani all the time chanting Krishna, 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 Krishna. There is no other topic. There is no other topic. Only Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Meditating, absorbed in the form of Krishna. Varaha Pidam Datvarvapyo Karnikharam Vidravasam Kanakapisham Vijanti Stamana Randhya Venudhar Sudhaya Purnaropudunti. Meditating on the form. Remembering the qualities of Krishna. Yadhoni Avani Lepane, while milking cows, while putting cow dung on the floor, while taking care of babies, while boiling milk on the oven, while cooking. Srila Gurudev's side. Remembering Srila Gurudev. Govinda Damodar Madhaveti, Govinda Damodar Madhaveti, Govinda Damodar Madhaveti, Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. He Krishna, He Yadav, He Saketi, Govinda Damodar Madhavi. Association. All the time associating with Krishna and then imitating or remembering together the pastimes of Krishna. Gopis, Radharani associating with Krishna. The best sadhu sangha. And Krishna is associating with Radharani. Na pareham nirvadyu samyujam swasadu krishna vibuddhyusham. Gopis, I cannot repay your debt. With your generous nature, sadhu nature, Gopis are not ordinary, the best sadhu. Because Ehtuki Apratihita, they have unconditional, without any cause, unconditional love for Krishna. So who can be more big sadhus than them? And that's the reason why Uddhavji wants to associate with the dust of this sadhu, Radharani. That's why Brahmaji wants to get the dust of these sadhus, Radharani and the gopis. That's why Shiva is praising these sadhus by chanting Radha Kripa Kataksh. And that's why Shri Krishna is massaging the feet of that sadhu. And who is that? Radharani. The best sadhu. Krishna is associating with Radharani and Radharani is associating with Krishna. That's all Sangaha. And this association, which is pure in every respect in all states, that purity of sadhusanga falls or descends in this material world with the embodiment of this sadhu sangha between Sri Radha and Sri Krishna assume a form, and that is Sri Guru, and he comes and gives this sadhu sangha. That's the embodiment of that association of Radha and Krishna, that high, pure, transcendental state of association, the absorption of Krishna in Radharani and absorption of Radharani in Krishna. राधा जी के मन में बसे घन श्याम, बसे घन श्याम, श्याम की मुरलिया में राधा जी को नाम. Absorption, that's sadhu sangha. So this is Shraddha. Two definitions of Shraddha. श्रद्धा शब्द विश्वास को है, सुदृढ़ निश्चय, कृष्ण भक्ति कहले, सर्व कर्म कृत्य है. Another is श्रद्धा तो अनुपाय वर्जनम, भक्ति भक्ति उन्मुक्ति चित्त वृत्ति विशेषा. Shraddha without association and Shraddha with association, so much different, it varies. And because of that, then this point comes of understanding in maturity. What is the meaning of dharma? Why Krishna, you said in the beginning, or you said in earlier, that you come to establish dharma, and in the last you're saying to give up dharma. My Shraddha finished. I have no Shraddha of Bhagwan. You said something else, now you're saying something else. I'm totally confused. Why? Because no association is there. And one gets association, then we understand what is the meaning of Krishna, which dharma he comes to establish, and which dharma he is saying to give up. That's called Nitya and Namatic Dharma. We will hear about this tomorrow. Gautrimande. 1 hour goes very fast. Actually, more than 1 hour. Very fast. Just like 15 minutes only. I didn't even touch the topic here. Yeah. Correct.